Hi, if you don't know already, I'm Maria and I make a bunch of animal jam and furry art for the community, and so I post mostly on Instagram. Alright, the story is about how I've been harassed in middle school, and it was during my 7th grade year. It all began when I woke up one morning seeing a bump on my chest, which it sounds strange, I know, but it was like when I was around 12 or 13 years old, and this was like a new thing to me since, when you're growing, you don't really understand your body well. So, this was also the main reason why I got harassed, because that was what affected my attendance for school. I wouldn't show up to school since I would have to go see doctors. Like, literally, I would go from one doctor to another just to figure out what the heck this was. And I was kind of getting worried because they couldn't tell if it was a tumor or if it was cancer, which was affecting me mentally and physically, I'd say, because I couldn't really join in with the other kids to go and be active in the gym, and mentally because I was driving myself insane and I was scared. I didn't understand, like, oh, is this it? Am I gonna have like a few years left? If you know what I mean? But it was also because a few of my teachers started to get irritated with the whole concept of me needing to make up work, missing out class lessons, and not even there to take notes. And let's start with my history teacher. We'll just call him Mr. R for personal protection reasons, you know what I mean. Um, Here's the thing to add to it. He's the husband of the principal, and the principal did not get along with my mom because they both had history when they were in school together, when they were kids, of course, which they took advantage of using that excuse to taunt me, I guess, because he started to act up on me. Like, I would do his work and I would make sure I do the project and I would present everything that you had to do in class, right? But all of a sudden, due to my changes of like how I wouldn't come to school, the I guess he talked to the principal, and the principal knew me since my mom and her. To get to the point, he would do harassing in the classroom. Like, he would call out our names and roll call, and once he got to my name, he he would say, "Oh, Makria, you finally arrived to school. Whatever you're doing outside of school, is it over already? Because you need to focus on your future." That left me baffled because I didn't expect that from him. He was a real sweet and respectful teacher until he started all of this. It was to a point he would even mention to everyone, like a reminder kind of thing. Like, if he was like trying to give a life lesson, he would say, "For those of you who don't come to class every day and keep missing out on your work and your notes and everything, and you're not here for class, well, that's on you. Everyone else is busy focusing on their future and trying to graduate. And we all know who's gonna end up not graduating this year." Yeah, so throughout the whole year, he would be like giving me smug looks, and he'd just like brushed me off whenever we would do all the class lessons and the projects whenever I would go to school. Aside Mr. R, there was another teacher that would also intentionally do this to me just for not coming to school again. And she happened to be my writing teacher. I thought it was weird because I liked her class a lot. Like, she would sign a lot of good essays for us to write, and the projects we were doing, they were really fun, and she was a real interactive teacher. I guess she just got tired. Every time I would attend to her classroom, I would raise my hand for the chapter of the book or wherever we left off or where they were reading at, because we were doing a class assignment book, and it was a book called The Greasers. But she would act real nice with me whenever we would have classroom, and the thing was, like, I didn't catch a glimpse of her harassing me or like talking behind my back until one of my friends from my group table, because she assigned like 4 people per desk that was like groups, right? They decided to tell me because they were really tired of her constantly talking about it. And I didn't know this was going on for a while until my friend E, I'm just gonna call her E so she won't get, exposed. She was telling me, you know what, Maria, like I'm tired the way she's treating you, she's being fake. And when my friend was looking real annoyed and stressed out about it, I was like, what do you mean? And she told me the whole story about like what really was going on and why she was starting to ignore me, because every time I was raising my hand, she would pretend like she didn't see me, Miss G. She would pretend like she didn't see that I needed help. So she would go to a different table or a different group, and she would go help like most of the kids that would skip class on purpose and that they would slack off or get bad grades. And I didn't get it, because even if I missed school from all the doctor appointments, she wouldn't really help me just because of that. And I was trying to do my classwork. And Miss G finally decided one day, like I asked her, like, hey, is there a problem between me and you? She got frustrated and she held me behind class, like before we all got released, because she was my last period, like my 8th period classroom. She said, yes, we do. Like, you need to start coming to school more, and you need to take your grades seriously. You're gonna drop out. You're not gonna graduate. She was telling me all of these things, and it kind of disappointed me, because aside her telling me that, she kind of ignored like everything that I would do just to try to keep up with them, and the assignments I would make up just for her classroom. It looked like it didn't matter to her. So when she was done talking, I believe one day I decided to bring it up to my mom, and she started telling me like, don't worry about it, and I don't know what else we did. But after that day, Miss G was starting to act up more, not in front of me, but in front of like my classmates, and half of my classmates already knew since elementary. So whenever she would walk out of the classroom, they would tell me what she would say. And the things that she would say was not pretty. Like, she would say that I was gonna drop out and I was never gonna make it, which is something you're not supposed to say to a student or behind the student's back. So Miss G and Mr. R, my history teacher, right? They were both the main problem. I was lucky the math teacher, the reading teacher, the science teacher, even my art teacher were like supportive of me, and they were trying to encourage me to come to school every day. But it was bad because I didn't want to come to school. I would hide my clothes under my mattress, literally like in the middle, and I would hide in the pillows or in my mom's closet under her bed so no one could find me, and they would leave me home. And I'd end up staying like playing on the games, because I was already at that point like, you know what, I'm probably not gonna graduate, and I haven't been able to keep up, because whatever I would do, it was whatever they would just throw at me to try to make up for grades, and it looked like my grades were not gonna get any higher than that. To make it shorter, I had to take the exams, and when it came to the exams, the principal was there, and my mom made an agreement with the principal not to scold me or like give me any attitude or problem. She did for a bit, but my art teacher was there. Luckily, just her being there helped me, and I ended up graduating, but with an extra classroom. Moral of the story, please don't be taken advantage of or let teachers harass you. Thank you for watching.